Okay, another edition of David and Goliath. David was a teenage boy many centuries ago. It's a biblical iconic story of the little guy coming against the big guy. And David was a teenager, and in the Israeli army were his three older brothers and hundreds of men. And then there was a big valley between them and the Philistine army with a warrior named Goliath, a mountain of a man, and many times the size of David, and an experienced warrior. And David walked into this situation that was filled with a paradigm of fear, and including his older brothers. They didn't know what to do. They were just caught in this paradigm of fear and frozen in their activities that were doing no good as Goliath taunted them day after day. And as in another clip, found out that David said, hey, this shouldn't be happening. I'm going to do something about it. And he was even motivated by the money he could get from the king, a possible bride, get out of taxes, but mostly for the honor of his Lord and God. So, having said that, though, he also had to count the cost, and that's the thought for today in the David and Goliath story. What was the cost? What was the potential cost of David going against Goliath? Well, obviously, it was physical death. The odds were extremely against him that this young man was going to die. But he won in the end, just so you know the end of the story. We'll talk a lot more about that in days to come. But counting the cost. I love telling this story because it's absolutely true. My wife was in line at a grocery store probably around 10 years ago. And there was a young lady that came up behind her and said, "Are you Kay?" She said, "Yeah, I'm Kay." "Kay Johnson?" "Yes." "Okay. And you're married to Pastor Curt?" "Yes." And her face lit up and said, "I'm here because of you." My wife said, "I don't understand. What do you mean you're here because?" "I'm here because of you. You talked my mother out of having an abortion, and I was that baby. I'm here because of you and that group that I grew up in as a little girl was just so wonderful." Isn't that awesome? We don't know the sacrifices that we make and what will happen in the end. See, my wife and I, during that season, we counted the cost. It wasn't laying down our physical life like David had to, but we did get arrested a few times. That's a long story. If you're interested in that, it was called Operation Rescue. It started out as a strong prophetic move of God and then filtered out, as a lot of them do, because man intervenes. But anyway, we actually got arrested for trespassing as we sat peacefully in front of doorways so women couldn't get abortions. And at that time, we were counting the cost. What if we do go to jail? We were in court. I was sued with a RICO suit. I mean, there was a price to pay. Right now, I am extremely concerned for the American church and the average Christian, even the average God-fearing person that has traditional American values. We're fast asleep while the Goliaths are taking over, have taken over quite literally. And the next level that will come this year is more like real conflict and persecution. What is the cost you're willing to pay to snap out of whatever it is you're doing now and speak the truth in love to this culture? There's so much for us to say. We don't have to be contentious. We don't have to be arrested like I do. It's just speaking the truth in love. Man can't choose to be a woman can't choose to be a man. Little children should be able to grow up without the pressure of maybe I'm the wrong gender. There is so much deception and lies. And we support all this with our dollars. And I'm being really transparent. I'm helping a David in the land. Someone in the consumer goods arena that's standing up against a Goliath. See, I think I want to be for the little guy. I think you do too. I think you want to be for David, not the Goliaths. And the worst part about it is a handful of rich people and rich companies get all of our money all the time, and we're actually paying for the propagation of evil. Some of the woke philosophy, it just goes on and on. I don't need to go into that because you know it all. and you're living it all, and I don't know, are you just like me hoping it was going to go away? Or when people saw the absurdity of some of the stuff was going on, like burning cities, and don't arrest them, but arrest people that are peacefully protesting? It's nuts. It's insane. But there's Davids in the land. There's things that we can do, including changing our spending habits. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know what you're going to do. I think I'm going to post this one on Facebook too. If you'd like just to stop giving all of your money, so the propagation of these evil agendas would be a little bit lessened, and you could feel good about brushing your teeth and making coffee and cleaning your toilet without supporting all these causes, then get a hold of me. So I love the story of my wife and that. And you don't know the little bit of sacrifices coming a little bit out of your comfort zone. I don't expect anybody, and I didn't at that time either, to do what my wife and I were doing. There are others that did, obviously, but it was a small minority. But I greatly appreciated those that walk a little bit out of their comfort zone and maybe stand on the street corner with a sign, or walk and pray around the killing centers that they called abortion centers, just whatever. That was the battle that raged back then, and it still rages, but there's more battles that are raging that are more obvious. And it's not going to change unless we have Davids in the land, support Davids in the land, stand up to Davids in the land, speak the truth in love. So, what are you willing to do in the days ahead? It's something to consider right now, not when it hits the fan, because there will be some things hitting the fan here pretty soon this year, and just wanted you to be thinking about it now. You know, it's not the time to go in the garage and start pumping weights when the robber's in the house. It's a little too late then, okay? You want to begin thinking, how can I get out of my comfort zones? Where can I shop different? Where can I speak the truth in love? Where can I stand up at work or with my friends and speak the truth to love to them? And with a smile, with God's grace, so that we stand against the tide.